Round 4 was versus the Mirror. And as a Dohi player, this is one of the toughest matchups you'll ever face. It typically goes long, and yeah, I've gone through a lot of overtimes with this matchup, so it's a grind. Basically, it never ends because you typically just fight over board state, and so you just keep on spawning characters, killing characters, and yeah, you probably get the idea. Yep, we start off pretty much the same here. I took second. I won the dice roll. Typically, I would have probably went first, but I knew he didn't have teach, and I think he would have preferred to go second. So I decided to take a second away from him and basically play it as if we weren't using the teach build. But yeah, he opens up with Perona and I just follow suit, and after that ensues like a never-ending battle of board state, as I've mentioned. So it's a very good start here for him. He went Jinbei Law, basically removing my Perona, which kind of negates me from doing the same combo because I wouldn't want to bounce one of my units. I mean, one of either Jinbei or Law, but I think what I did here was replay Perona. And the reason that I want to take second, given that I knew, again, that he had no teach or BB2, is that I could immediately put pressure on his board. So here I put or attack 7k Jinbei and use Willow, and basically did the same combo as him. So I bounced Perona and bounced his Law and attack just Jinbei for 7. Now he's forced to defend with 2 cards, and he did just that so he could preserve his board. Pass turns, 5 dawn turn. He went for prone again. Now the reason I choose first typically is teach is a very good curve with when you go first. Suppose, let's say I drop him turn 2 on my 3 dawn turn. I can then use his effect to play Warlord from hand. And on the 5th turn, I could drop, let's say, Jinbei into someone and then leader effect as well. So it's very fast. But yeah, went second again just to put pressure on his board early. But he was able to summon Jinbei Weevil. Actually, no. He was able to just summon Weevil through leader effect, I believe. So attack Jinbei for 5. Took 1 card from hand. Summon Jinbei into Boa. And I believe I'm going to go for another 7 on the Jinbei here just to force him to defend again. At the same time, I'm building my own board. Yep. I did go 7 Jinbei into Weevil, which is also a very good combo for me. So at this point of the game, I'm at an advantage. I have 4-2. But yeah, everything can change quickly with these matchups. A Law can take down 1. I mean, leader attack into Law could immediately remove 2 of my board. And it's just a never-ending back and forth between the number of units on board. Goes for another Perona. Presumably to dig deeper, I think, because he would have known. I mean, I think he should still know the next 2 units from the top of deck from the previous search, but yeah. Sometimes it helps to dig deeper. Let's see what it does here. I believe I've mentioned this in a different game, but the Perona effect is typically where you spend your most of your time as a Dofi player. You want to sequence out and plan out your next turns. So we go 7. Yeah. So he goes 7 to my law, I believe. Yeah, he goes 7 to law. Summons a Croc from leader effect, and from that revealed the Mihawk 9 cost, which honestly is very scary because I don't have any response to that. I don't run Red Rock on this list, so once he drops that, it's going to be very difficult to remove, and it's going to be a constant 9k attacker. It's going to attack over my units and my leader. But I can't really deviate much from the plan. I think it stays the same. I'm just here to just keep on attacking. Let's go 5k Croc, bait out counter. So he has 5 cards hand, so okay, so he does defend with 2, so that's a bit indicative. So I just go 8 to evil. 4 cards hand at this point. And if he defends here, he's gonna have 2 cards left in hand. Yeah, he does defend 2-1. So it's kind of disappointing from my end. I would have wanted to get that, but I do still want to build up my board as well and basically summon my boa. So now I have a 7k attack left, and I think I'm just gonna hit Croc there, just to reduce his board by 1. Try to reduce his board as much as possible, really, because it's gonna be very difficult again when the Mihawk 9 comes out. So I wasn't exactly satisfied with the search there, but just decided to keep it on top and bring back a 2k counter. Now I have 7 cards hand versus his 3, I believe. So at this point, I think I'm okay. Well, up until he did that, at least. So I was gonna say I was okay with my board there. I still had 3 units to his 1. Well, basically 1 attacker, but he grab played both of my boas. So things are really not looking good for me here. And he's trying to clear my Jinbei, and I just defended out. Like, I don't want to let that Jinbei go. It's pretty much my only unit now. It's the only thing I can use to put pressure on him. And I just know that the 9 cost is coming up soon. So I start off with Perona, try to find something, any hope. But sometimes you just roll a bad one. And in this case, I decided to bottom deck, which just means I didn't find anything worthy. So now things are looking quite bad for me. So just went 6k Weevil, and he gave it. So it kind of means he doesn't have much counter in his hand. And then I just play Weevil. Teach into Teach effect and play another Weevil, I believe. Yep. So if he didn't defend, or I mean, if he defended that Weevil, I would have went 8k on that Weevil again. So I think it was right for him to just let it go. Otherwise, he would have just used up his whole hand there. So even though I got grab bladed, I was able to build board again, which again, it's just how things go with Dofi. Especially if you have Teach, I believe you really build up board fast. So you go 6 on my Jinbei, and he leaves 9 Dawn open, so I already know what's coming up next. So I just defend Jinbei here. I don't want to let anything go at this point. And yeah, he bot decks my Weevil. And again, drops the 9 cost. And while I do have board advantage, I'm not exactly in a favorable position at this point. Because again, that Mihawk will continue to attack my life and attack my units. So honestly, at this point, I'm not too sure how to play it, or how to play this game, or how to approach my following turns. The only way I could possibly address this Mihawk is to bring out a Mihawk of my own, as again, I don't run Red Rock on this list. But here I just go 7 leader, and unfortunately trigger another Grab Blade, and so that's one more character off my board. And now I have to pivot again. So I just go 5k leader Prona here and try to just get him as slow as possible, I guess. Kind of feels like a desperation move, but I guess you could say I'm quite desperate at this point. Now, as I mentioned, the only way I could probably combat this Mihawk is to drop Mihawk of my own. And I believe from this top search, I was able to find a Mihawk. Yeah, so I left like a law on top, so I went 7 leader. And yeah, just decided to bounce my Law and Weevil here. I don't want to bounce his Verona, didn't want to give him counter value. And I just thought that I could use the draw or the bounce effect again in the next turn. Or in the following turns, I mean. But yeah, again, this is not a good spot for me. So just 2k on my Verona. I just let that go. I don't want to defend that. I have 4 cards hand. And yeah, I'm just trying to adapt now what he's doing. So okay, he attacks my life. I think I have 3 left at this point. He goes Moria. He brings back a Law. So I guess he's gonna bounce back my Boa here. Further, how do you say it? Further strengthening this board while weakening mine. And if you just pause at this board state, yeah, I am pretty much doomed. So you go 7 on leader, and I decided to defend. Now, I didn't want to lose more life at this point, given that he's always going to have that 9k attack, and I don't want to. I think I have to defend as much as I can now. Now, from my Boa sequencing, I have finally drawn the 9 cost Mihawk here. So pretty much my only play would be to run that. It's my only response to the 9 cost Mihawk. Yeah, so I just decided to play the Mihawk, bounce Law, add 1 to my board, and move 1 from his. And I believe I'll make use of Teach here. Use one of the cards that I bounced back with Law the previous turn. Alright. 7k to leader into Weevil. Get that draw. Give me more options. And build the board in a way. He will have to take down my Weevil, I think, but it's not gonna be like a tough task for him given his Mihawk. I guess the only thing is he has to be careful with resting the Mihawk here, because I do have my own Mihawk, and that means I will have the ability to attack it after he does rest it. And given his small hand size, yeah, it's gonna be difficult for him to defend. So that's something he has to consider. But it goes 10k to my Weevil here, seemingly confident that I won't be able to take that Mihawk back. He goes 7 leader. And he leaves 6 Dawn, which I wasn't sure what he was planning here. I was worried about Red Rock, because if he Red Rocks me Mihawk, then I'm pretty much doomed here again, because I won't have anything to respond. But yeah, just took this. I don't think I had anything left in hand. I had like a Boa, I think, a Weevil. Oh, not sure if I still had Weevil, but basically I had not many counters at this point. And he just drop a Jinbei into Weevil, get 1 draw, and yeah, he hits me again with 7, and I just take. I have no choice. And then I think this is what he relied on. He dropped a 3 cost blocker, like the Dofi blocker. It basically negates the option of me just trying to bash into his Mihawk here. So if you pause at this board state, you'd probably say that I'm already losing. And I won't blame you. The only saving grace that I have here is only at 1 hand. So if I could somehow remove that blocker, then I still have a chance. Now, keep in mind I had Law in my hand, so that's one possible route. But I think I found a very good line here. And you'll see what I did. A bit of think. I mean, this is one of the crucial points I would say of this game. If I don't do something about this board here, I will probably just die next round. So I have to do something. Okay, so I decided to Gravity Blade the blocker in Jinbei, which probably doesn't make sense as much, but I just wanted to get rid of the blocker. When 11 was Mihawk, I didn't have anything to block that. And then decided to attach to the leader using Teach Effect, and then 7 on Moria. Again, he has nothing to defend that, given he has 1 card. And then went Jinbei to Law, and then I bounced back his Weevil. So the reason I think I bounced, grab-bladed Jinbei there and killed Moria instead of bouncing them back, is so that he won't, with my Law, I won't be bouncing back something that could possibly summon 2 characters or bring back something from grave. So if he does drop Weevil here, then I'm just good to this draw, I guess. Also, I just thought that I didn't want to give him something with 1k counter even. But I think I could have gone either way. I think the most important part there was to grab blade or at least remove the blocker, and that opened basically my access into attacking his Mihawk and basically destroying his board. So it's crazy how that 1 turn basically swung the whole game around. Like from 5 units on board or 4, he has now 0, and I have my Mihawk and my Law in mine. That's just how the bear goes. It's crazy. 1 turn before, I was probably in a losing state, and now I am in the driver's seat once more. And now it's up to him, or it's now up to him to find a way to negate what I just did. But the thing is, it's much more difficult for him given his resources. I think at this point he has 3 cards in hand with the Weevil. So yeah, he'd have to come up with a miracle here. Pretty much the same way I came up with a miracle the last turn. Yep, so he's thinking here. Yeah, I think that just highlights how card games go. I mean, I drew into Grab Blade there, which was kind of lucky as well, but it is what it is. It's not a perfect game, and there will always be RNG. Sometimes you just don't get favorable draws, I guess. And so far, from these 4 rounds, I have been definitely lucky. So I think it just goes 13 into my Mihawk here. He has 4 cards hand, 1 Dawn left. I think I just take this, honestly. Like, he put that much Dawn into it, and he didn't develop board. So I think I'm okay with just letting that go. And now I can put pressure on his board again. Possibly. Okay, so actually he dropped Sengoku and found these Weevils. He's so pissed about it. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I think he was trying to find a counter there, but yeah. So now I'm thinking, do I go for lethal or do I try to go for lethal here? I know he doesn't have many counters in hand, but I think I thought better. I'm not sure if going lethal here is the right move, especially since he still has 2 life, and just the amount of counters in a Doflamingo deck. Yeah, so I stay consistent with the plan. I go 5k to Crocodile. He defends with 2k Buggy, which kind of means he doesn't exactly have 1 case, and I know for sure he has a Weevil in hand, so there's definitely something there. I mean, he is definitely missing some counter at this point. But yeah, I play it safe. Jinbei Boa. Unfortunately, I did have to bottom, but I do have 1 more Boa in hand. I think. Yep, I did 1 more Boa, and yeah, just look at the board here. I am now definitely at an advantage, and I could swing 7, Scroll, force more cards from hand, or actually just kill the Croc. In fact, it's not even 7, it's actually 8. Let's see. Yeah, I just go 8k Croc to summon a Moria. Replace my Law and bring back a 2k. So, yeah. Definitely an advantageous position for me now. This 1 attacker pretty much, unless he invests Dawn into Sengoku and I have 2 blockers. So if I just block 1, he's not exactly gonna be able to put me to 0 and open up a perfume turn. Okay, so he goes Law, bounces back his own Law into bounce my Boa. He does it again to bounce my Boa, and now he just has like 2k left. I mean 2 Dawn left. So the max he can do is 7, and I think I just defend out of that. Yep, I went 2-1. Again, I didn't want him to perfume me. So yeah, now for the counter attack. Right, 7 leader. May defend out of this one. So he defended out of this one. There's went boa. Yep. Leader effect here. I wasn't exactly satisfied with the top. Yep. Yeah, so went 8k to leader to bounce back his slaw. Make sure that he doesn't have more than one attack next turn. And yeah, unless he runs like Rush Usopp, there's no way for him to lethal me. Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure if he has any other option. He kind of just did like a random play here. He said double attack on the femur, ingest, and scooped. So yeah, I think his only option there was probably to play like a blocker or something. But even then, I had my teach and my law in hand, so I could just defend out. So GG's.